You quote Lewis saying that the existence of God is further proven by a natural morality. Is it necessary to have a God to have morality?
It is not necessary to believe in God to be moral, which is what I think almost everybody, when they hear Dostoevsky's phrase, if there is no God, everything is permitted. Have you heard that before? That's Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky. Excuse me. I'm older than all of you, really. He said, if there is no God, everything is permitted. And I'll tell you, atheists down through the years have absolutely been offended and insulted by that. And it's because they think he's saying, if there is no God, if you believe there's no God, you'll do anything. And I just know that's not true. In fact, as a Christian, I know that won't be true. Because as a Christian, I read my Bible, and the Bible says every human being is in the image of God. Every human being has a conscience. Everybody's conscience is informed to some degree by God and His will, whether you believe in it or not. That's what the Christian theology says. So, of course, atheists are going to be moral. And I don't believe Dostoevsky means that. Here's what Dostoevsky means. You have no basis for moral obligation, philosophically and intellectually, if you don't believe in God. That's what he's saying. And I actually gave you an example a minute ago. The woman who didn't believe in God and who saw in these cultures in Africa female genital mutilation and felt it was absolutely wrong, realized that she had no way of saying to people in another culture, you ought to believe that this is immoral. She had nothing to appeal to. If there's a God, you could, because God made you like this and this is His will. Otherwise, it was all culturally relative. And she realized she didn't have an intellectual, rhetorical basis for telling them they were morally obliged to do a certain thing. But nevertheless, she felt in her heart. That's what Dostoevsky is getting at. And that's all I would say. I would never say that because she was an atheist, she was immoral. She was incredibly moral, probably more moral than me. But that doesn't mean that she had a decent warrant for her the sense of moral obligation she felt.